Hey there guys, and welcome back. So today we are finally doing it. We're finally finishing up all the add-ons for the Carvera. So last time we made a bunch of things, and one of the things we made was this skeleton of a tool rack right here. So this bolted onto the side of the Carvera. Again, this blank plate that we had here, I could have drilled out and attached this to directly, but I decided I've got a Carvera, so I made my own. So that is that fully fitted. I did run into a couple little oopsies, but it's working now. So that's what I've done over the past few days. One of these things where I was going to stream on Saturday or Sunday. By Saturday or Sunday, I did not have any good ideas for something to do other than the Carvera add-ons. So I was going to give up, just do that on Sunday. Saturday night, I came up with a really good, and really interesting idea that I wanted to do, a new project. And I started doing research on it Sunday morning when I woke up. And I ended up researching it all of Sunday morning, which is why I did not stream on the weekend. Or all of Sunday, period, not just Sunday morning. So that is why we did not have a stream on Sunday. And over the past 2 days, I've been finishing up all the add-ons, making sure that they all fit, that we've designed so far, etc, etc, etc. Again, ran into a couple of oopsies that slowed me down, but that is now complete. And because I can't really use the subject that I was researching on Sunday, I've decided that that's more or less just a video, just a maker video. Since that's no longer a stream option at this point, we're back over to this. So again, I had promised to switch gears and do something different, but as it turns out, that's not going to be the case. Also, I finally figured out why the light on this side was getting all sorts of glitchy. Turns out that I've got a quick connect on the power supply over there, on that one, and it's a DIY thing, and it looks like I'm guessing the crimp is somewhat off or something like that. And over time, as I've moved my monitors around, because again, these are mounted on my monitors, it looks like that's more or less caused a loose connection in the crimp. So I only just figured that out like 5 minutes ago. So I'm going to, after the stream is over, attempt to fix that. I do have a more permanent option for lighting that should have a better, a more consistent and a better coverage for the lighting coming. It's just I've got to make a few more modifications to my setup here before I can actually install it. And that has just been on the back burner. One of those projects that I need to get to. In the meantime, this right here is a hot glue gun. I actually just hot glued the connection in an attempt to keep it stable. If it does flicker and go out on that side, nothing else I can do at this point. I did the quickest, dirtiest fix I could right before stream, and that's where we're at. So that's the setup for today. Time to get on to what we're actually doing. So here is all the stuff that I had for box, in the box that came with the Carvera. We got the PCB stuff. This actually did not come in the box. This was the, or rather these are, I should say, the collets for the quarter-inch collet. I ended up picking that up after I got my Carvera. I realized just how small the 1/8 inch ones, because I normally don't use 1/8 inch end mills at work. So once I realized just how small those are, which honestly for the size of the machine is not bad, but I wanted to have an option to more quickly hog out material. So I picked the 1/4 inch collets, and these are the collars for that. Other than that, obviously, this stuff right here, so that's all the PCB stuff. These are the wrenches for the chuck on the 4th axis. And then the rest of this over on this side now, this is all the extra stuff that comes base with the machine. And I'm cleaning the books here. It's one of those things. I like having the books near the machine. My personal opinion, which I haven't done my Carvera video yet, but the user manual is a little bit lacking, but even then it does have some useful information with it, which is why I'm keeping it around. I would have liked for this to be more comprehensive, but it's got just enough that I don't feel like just sticking it somewhere on a bookshelf and never going back to it, so it will stay with the machine. The examples book I'm going to keep here just because there's a couple things with it. For example, this main tool loadout, if I ever go back to do to recreate any of the examples, this is useful to have. So I'm going to keep it around for now. I have a good place, I think, for it on the setup. So that's the other reason. If I didn't have a place for it, then I wouldn't. I would go ahead and just put this one on a bookshelf somewhere. But that's the lowdown on all this stuff. Now, stuff that is not in this pile right here. Stuff on this pile, not in this pile, is the fourth axis. This is just way too heavy. This is not going to hang up on the rack. And if I tried, it might actually damage something. So this is going to remain where I have it, which is to the right side of my Carvera, beneath the phone/tablet holder, just on the bench. So that's where that's going. And I still have this guy. This is the cling for the laser, okay? Laser protection cling. I don't like this option. I frankly maybe should just throw this out, but I figure I might use it someday for something. But I'm also not going to keep this with the Carvera. This is just going to go on a shelf somewhere out of the way. Also, I turned up the music a little bit, and it wasn't that big of a deal on the previous track. This one sounds like it might be a little loud, but that may also be my headphones, so apologies in advance. I literally turned it from 5% to 7%, so it wasn't that much. In other news, this is the last thing that is not going on the rack right now. It's one of those things, this is rather large, takes up a good amount of real estate. Now, once I have all this other stuff located on the tool rack, maybe I'll change my mind and go ahead and put this on here. The other option is, if I have enough space and feel like it, we could take, instead of storing the bits and stuff underneath the machine, which is where I have them right now, we could make bit holders for the tool rack. And you may decide that you like to do that anyway. You may not like the fact that I put these underneath my machine. I personally don't think there's a problem with it, but that's just my opinion. So that is an option, is to take the bits and move them onto the tool rack. So with all that out of the way, I don't think I put this side up just in case I felt like drawing stuff, ideas. I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. Maybe we'll come back to the whiteboard. Otherwise, let's hop into Fusion right after I put these bits away. Alrighty, back over to Fusion. Fusione. Here we are. So before we started, I went ahead and set up just a mock setup here so we can visualize how everything is going and start adding tool stuff to it. Each individual tool design will be a separate file. That makes sense to me. And beyond that, and then we'll just obviously import them into here. So beyond that, don't have any other real plans. So let's go ahead and get started. First thing, the books. The books are going to be pretty easy. Basically, the way I intend for this to work is, let's go ahead and duplicate this. I can't read for some reason. We'll copy and paste new. Okay, unless it does want to paste new on me. Oh, I see what the problem is. Okay. I understand why it's having a problem there. That's okay. So, point is, actually, we'll go with a line. We'll take these other pieces of extrusion, was the idea, or at least one of my ideas, and attach them to this crosswise. So, component, take that. Actually, I should use the component's origin. That would make more sense. Rotate. And where's my... Why can I not see this axis? There it is. So. Do that. And then this will be a cross section. So this capture position can be any length really. So we go two-sided. Let's just call this 10 inches for right now. Actually, I should measure really quick just to see what we have. The point being is that we can make these cross braces anywhere we want along the edge. And where I was going with this is the books, I'm actually just going to put behind these cross braces. So, nine and 3/4 and 6.5 is what I think I'm comfortable with. So 9.75 inch on that side. Actually, the fact of the matter I just realized is, technically speaking, this back plate is backwards right now. So, oh no, I lied. It's on the wrong side. This whole entire extrusion is actually on the wrong side. Yes, that is what happened. So I will fix that in just a minute. But out from the front side then is 6.5 inches and 9.75 from the back. And basically what that is that lines up with the machine. Actually, that is plus 20 millimeters. That will line up with the machine itself, not counting the cover and not going past the back. Now, I do have space behind the machine that I could use. However, I'm not going to at the moment. So let me just press this joint really quick. Press. Align. Let's move you. Or not you. That we actually want to move you first to that side. Okay, now we can move you that side, and there we go. Now we can capture position and unsuppress that joint. Oh, never mind. We are just going to delete that joint. Yes, delete. As built, boink boink, and actually, yeah, whatever. I should have done rigid group is what I should have done here. But, we are now set up. Again, the books are going to now go back here. So in between this extrusion and the back wall. And if I go ahead and create a copy of this. Component, translate, create copy, and drag you down here. And line with the bottom. Right now, I think this is a good skeleton to work with. In terms of, we have these two extrusions, 2 levels to attach tools to. And this is also the 2 levels that I would need to put the books back there. Now, as for the books, honestly, they can just sit back there. That's probably fine. However, from them just leaning up against my Carvera to begin with, I have found that the bottoms have started flaying out. So, what I'm thinking is I'm just going to make a couple little book clips. And maybe I'll make book clips. Maybe I will make actual extrusion attachments. That's another option. I was just going to basically make little clips to go on the bottom of the books. And that's it. Just to hold them together. Yeah, you know what? I think I'm fine with that. I don't think it needs to be attached to the extrusions. I don't think there's any point in that. So, really quick, this is going to be a 2-second design. So, hold onto your seatbelts, put your seatbelts on, hold onto your butts, whatever. We got 7mm, and then whatever the heck I feel like for the rest of it. Really not that difficult. We are from front right now. I actually want to do this from the left, I think. Nah, I want to do it from the front. That's fine. So, 1 second. Alrighty. Let's do this. Again, this is just going to be a little clip to hold these guys together. I can't possibly screw this one up, knock on wood. 7mm, or that is not 7mm. This is 7mm. We can go ahead and make this 3. So 7, 3, and 3 is 13, so I definitely have enough space behind the 20mm extrusion, so that's no big deal. This probably only needs to be 25, let's call that, and I will just call this 3 as well. Now, the only last thing to consider is how precisely we want to make this clippable. So, if I just slide that on, honestly, it's one of those things. I said 7, if I just shrink it down to, like, let's say 6.75, or maybe even 6.5, that'll probably squeeze onto the bottom easy enough to keep it in place without having to get fancy. And I think I may just do that. Again, I'm not, super into, like, this isn't super interesting, this book clip. And I don't feel the need to make it any more interesting because, again, the books could just end up on a shelf in the future. So I don't want to put a bunch of effort into it. The only question is if I want to, because we have the space, add this to the rack. Yeah, you know what? Fine. Fine. It's simple enough as is, so let's just put the little extra effort in. We'll toss this in here, make that perpendicular. And then this will be 20mm. That will go collinear there. That will go collinear there. And this all is actually, this is 28mm, right? So this does not go collinear here. What we want is this probably like 18mm, just that way we're not fighting against the ground or the crossbeam. So we want this up a little bit off the ground, assuming this crossbeam goes straight against the ground here. Technically speaking, just for the record, I do have a plastic cap on the bottom of this extrusion to keep it from scraping up my bench. But I'm ignoring that because it's so minor. Such a minor detail. But if we put this 2mm off the bottom, that will make sure that this clip is not scraping the bottom as well. So, that being said, we can go ahead and move this onto 20mm right here. And that only really needs to be like 3 because it's really not doing much. And that now can be extruded. We can make this like, let's say we do 2 of these, right? We'll make them front and a back one. I don't think I'm going to bother putting edges on it, to keep the books hemmed in. So let's just call it 50mm. There we go. And then we can hop in here and toss the mounting, the M4s in. M4s are just the easiest, smallest. That's the reason I'm using M4s. Not the smallest. You could go smaller, but I, for the most part, use M4s when I'm attaching to extrusion, and it doesn't need to be super heavyweight. Those are the two criteria. So there's my 2 M4 holes. Toss this in here and then center that up. And then we can just define this. We can define it either way. I guess I prefer to make sure we have some minimum distance on this side. And that should be everything. And just cut these out and we should be good to go. Distance all. And again, well, not again. I guess again was what I was going to say is I'll print 2 of these for the front and the back of the books. But the other thing I was going to say is that this prints just fine on this edge. Like that. I don't know if that's a very good... Let's see. Let's go to the opposite side so you can actually see there. So printing up and down like this, it will print just fine. So nothing we need to worry about there. Let's just give it a little bit of color for the fun of it. Yeller. There we go. And we are done with the first piece. Again, this first piece was intended to be very simple because the books may or may not stay over with the Carvera in the long term. So, book flip. Save. And then we can go ahead and drive that into existing design. And where's my all? All holders. I can read. For the second time today, I can read. I promise. All right. Line that guy. There. There. Okay. Line that with that. Okay. And finally that. And that. And we are good. Oh, actually, that's right. I was thinking, I didn't say this out loud, but I was thinking now that I have this attached to the Carvera, I'm actually going to open this up because that means that I can't pull them out. So when I was going to just use them as clips, I would pull both books out, unclip them, and then use them, and then reclip them and put them back. That was the idea. However, now that they're attached permanently to the Carvera, I can't do that, which means that getting them back into the clip might be a little bit of a problem. So I'm actually going to open this up. So let's call it 8 instead, I guess. Give myself an extra millimeter. I mean, heck, 10. We can even go up to 10 because that's still plenty small enough. So this will not hold the books closed as tightly, which again, one of my problems was that my books were starting to splay out. We could consider putting a little plastic hinge in here, like spring, a little leaf spring in here to help push the books. So that would both A, guide them down in to the and B, keep pressure on them. That doesn't sound like a bad idea. I actually like that idea. So let's come back here. And we will just draw up with the spline a quick leaf. That's fine. Where's my plus arrow? Or my check mark? I don't see it. Enter. We'll offset that by like 2, -2. Maybe 1.5. -1.5. E. And then just that. And do I want this going the full length? I think I do. I think I do want this going the full length. So there we go. So there we go. The last thing I need to do is we can make this one of those things. This is this angle. Yeah, I take that guy and make that parallel to that. There we go. And that should make sure that that's the furthest point. And then I can go ahead and just toss this in here. So we have that -7. And this guy then has to come in. And we can make that guy -1. And make sure that we have a little bit more. Whoops. All right, you know what? Let's Control Z that. And how about we try that one? Trying to get a little bit more. Control Z. One of those things, spline lines are so easy to make these little clips with, which is why I did it. But they're also so finicky to get the exact shape you want. I guess I'll just leave it. I won't cry about it. Okay, there we go. So in between this point right here and that point, we have 7, which is exactly what I measured for the books. I could make it a little bit larger, a little bit smaller, rather, a little bit tighter, and it wouldn't be that big of a deal because, again, this is going to give right here in theory. But I don't know that it's that is that necessary. The other thing I could do is either move this down so that it's definitely pinching the bottom of the book, but I'm not so sure that, you know, with this 1 inch from the bottom, well, less than 1 inch, right? So this is actually more or less right in line right there. So that's 18 millimeters from the bottom of that, so 15 millimeters from there. Something like 3/5 of an inch. So about 3/5 of an inch from the bottom, pinching it. I don't think that's much different from pinching it right at the bottom, which is why I'm not terribly concerned. However, I am honestly at this point a little happy that we got to do something a little bit more interesting on that. Especially because I thought that was going to be a throwaway design. But capture position, update, and now I need to readjust that. Go off really quick. You off quick. That to that. Go. Capture position, and again, we have this visual guide right here that we are in fact, or we do in fact rather have enough space. So I'm just going to go ahead and that's right, I'm not going to be hopping there. Duplicate this body, create copy, and I'll just manually put it right there. It's not that big of a deal. And then let's go ahead and not child components, that, and that. Okay, there we go. All right, that is the first one down, and I'm going to move it off my desk. All right. So we have the manual leveler, tool setter, whatever you want to call it, called tool setter on the tool setter on the bag. But it is, I'm pretty sure, a manual height setter as opposed to an actual tool setter. Let me just look that up. Yeah. Okay. So this is... Let me go ahead and swap us back to the camera really quick. I'm going to go ahead and unpack this. I wasn't going to unpack this because I didn't want it getting dirty and dusty, you know? But frankly, I kind of want to demonstrate really quick because basically what this is it's got this cutout right here for the corner. So let's assume that this is my workpiece right here, and what it is it's actually an origin finder for the workpiece. So if I have my workpiece somewhere other than anchor 1, anchor 2, I can sit this right up on the corner of the workpiece, again assuming that the workpiece has a proper corner that I can align with, and then I can probe this instead, and this will give the Carvera the work corner, the X and Y. And actually, it should also give it the Z as well, I would imagine. But that is the use case of that. Again, just found that out. I actually thought it was for setting just the Z, but turns out it's for the X and Y as well. So, let's go ahead and make a little holder for this guy and make sure not to forget top back over diffusion like we normally do. And let me grab a marker really quick so I can write down dimensions. So we have, and I'm gonna stick this straight up so that it's that the wire's sticking out for the record, and therefore I don't have to compensate for it. So we have 50.1, 50. About 1, and the thickness is a little bit more than 1805, 1805, and I literally just forgot it was 20.1, right? I'm 90% sure it's 20.1. 50.1. Holy crap. Okay. I was off by a bit. 50.1 squared because it's both sides. Okay. I have that written down so now I won't forget it. And again, this little holder is going to be super simple because why would you not make it super simple? From the top, let's go on this one. Go ahead and make that like that. Align it. 50.1. And then the thickness is 18.05. And I'll open this up a little bit. The other thing I did not mention is I intend to 3D print all this stuff. It's one of those things, it is not necessary to spend this much, this much metal on these holders. So these will be 3D printed. Again, just 3mm walls, there's no reason not to. And then we can go ahead and toss a tab out here. I don't see any need to make it smaller than the rest of the holder. So we will do that. And this, like the other one, will be 18mm. The reason, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the reason why I'm cutting these short so they don't go all the way to the front, or at least that was my intent. I know I did 18mm on this, but evidently I did not on that. I meant to. Let's open that back up. And actually I can, after I do this, I can make it read only. Right over here. I actually meant to do 18mm here as well. I didn't want anything colliding with each other, so let me just save this and then we can explain on the actual physical model, non-physical model. Read only really quick. Read only. Update. Update clicks. All right, there we go. So if I want to mount something out the front here, now these clips won't get in the way. Similarly, if I want to mount, for example, this origin finder, this work holder probe, if I want to put this work holder probe up here in front, and then I've got an 18mm going back here, I can still then attach something behind it if I need to. That's not going to be, I mean, that will only really be applicable in the front side because, again, right now my books are folding up, or taking up space rather. But it at least gives us some extra room to play with. So there is that. 18mm as discussed. Let's go ahead and toss in the mounting holes. Yeah, actually still make it solid. I was going to make it solid because it's easier to see, but I don't think it's completely necessary at this point. 4mm as previously discussed. And then we'll probably go the same thing. Just call this 10mm right here and say that is good. Finish, extrude. We should probably extrude this first to give ourselves a reference. We can extrude the whole entire thing. I was thinking back to the other one, how we offset it from the top. I was thinking I might do that, but this is gonna, I'm actually only gonna do like 25 millimeters here. Actually, if I do that, then I do want to do what I was talking about. Okay, yeah, that's fine. We'll do this first, and then we'll do the rest of it, because I will extrude that all at once. Two-sided. Distance. Actually, you know what? I guess I won't do two-sided. I'll do one-sided. We'll do an offset from here. So here's the thing. The reason I waffled on that one is I was thinking I was going to make sure that when we put it over here, that it doesn't go past the bottom. Again, that way I have the bottom available. I don't know, however, if I will mount from the bottom. And if I do mount from the bottom, mount things from the bottom, it's possible that I mount them just hanging, in which case it won't necessarily matter that this square is in the way right here. That is what I'm thinking right now. So rather than make things more difficult, we will probably just go ahead and do this. So that from object there, whoops, back up there, and then minus 25. Again, that's about half the block. So I feel comfortable with that. Join, and then we can go ahead and root all this out from the bottom to make the bottom. Minus 3. 3 is fine. I did make this 4 up here. I did that to give it a little bit more stability. That may be unnecessary. It's one of those things, the plastic is basically free. You know, it's not really that expensive. But the only thing left to discuss here is how this is printing. It kind of wants to print upside down so that this is flat. That is probably the most ideal. That means that the largest portion of this is the overhang. Well, unless I printed like this. If I printed, let's rotate this and then hop over like that. So if I printed it like this, then we would have even worse overhang. But that seems a bit ridiculous to me because there's literally nothing benefiting from that, printing in that direction. So it should, in theory, print with this on the build plate, or alternatively with this on the build plate. Those are the two that make a little bit more sense. This would have less overhang, so that may be more ideal. And the only reason this comes up is because, again, I haven't incorporated any leeway in this so far, so I kind of need to offset the face a bit, especially if I have an overhang. And I don't want to put supports in here because this is an enclosed area, and therefore supports are going to be a pain in the butt to get out rather. So that is my logic rationale on why I'm doing, or why I'm setting this up that way, at any rate. So I think I will print it on this side and just leave that as an overhang. And new offset. Let's go ahead and do this minus 0.2 right now, and then I'm going to come back and do everything minus 0.1 just to be extra safe. Again, normally I do minus 0.05, but we are going to be on the safe side and do minus 0.1. So that's a minus 0.3 on that side altogether to compensate for the overhang. I could have split. Actually, you know what? It's probably one of those things. I'm probably going to forget which side I was going to print on between the left and the right hand side. So let's do this and do 0.1 on each side here. And that will give us 0.4 overall once we add the other one in. So that's plenty. So, and it's evenly split. So is the other reason. There is no reason to put any kind of windows in here. I've talked about this before because 3D printing prints mostly empty. Adding extra grill space, extra area for extra open area doesn't actually save material. So in other words, this could be a wireframe right here. I could just have a frame, an open frame, which this thing sits in, and for other manufacturing purposes, that would save material. But with 3D printing, because everything's hollow to begin with, you're not actually saving that material, because if I put a window in here, let's say, just for demonstration purposes, boop, 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 and then outline, -3, or I guess it's just 3. All right. So if I put this in here, metric all, in theory, you would think that I'm using less material right here, right? The problem is that here, well, that face, that face, that face, and that face all now have an extra wall in it. And when 3D printing does walls, it adds extra material that wouldn't otherwise be there. So especially on a model this small, that actually makes up for the fact that you cut all that material out. So that is just the rationale there, just a note. So this is the, let me double check on what the book actually called that. I get the official name, the manual probe. Okay. Manual probe folder. I probably should have added a color to that. That would make sense. Blue. Save that again. Derive that. Link. Existing. OK. All holders. Select. And align. Modify align. And I don't see myself using this too often, although I could definitely be wrong. So for right now, I'm going to just plan on putting that in the back. Line. There and there. One of these days I'm going to remember to use those. So the reason I never got used to using those gestures is that, especially when I first started using Fusion, my mouse was a bit finicky. So right clicking would like triple right click, which would make this really difficult to get to this menu. So just for the record, that's why I don't have a habit of opening up the gesture menu and using that. It would help, especially now that I have a better mouse, or at least a newer mouse. My old mouse was an MX Revolution, which was very, very old. It's a good mouse. Honestly, I think it might have given me some wrist problems, but that's besides the point. It honestly was not a bad mouse. However, it was quite old by the time I got rid of it. And the only reason I got rid of it was actually because it stopped charging. Actually, no, I take that back. Actually, now that I remember, now that I'm thinking about this, the mouse button did actually fail. I think it was both the mouse button and the center wheel failed. And I replaced the mouse button, the micro switch on the mouse button, but I had some trouble with something reassembling it, and I just plain decided, you know what, screw it, I'm just gonna buy a new mouse. So that's the story there. Now you know about my X mouse and why we don't talk about the X mouse. MX mouse. All right. Another thing off the desk. And next we have the spare dust filter. This guy, one of those things oh shoot, you know what? I'm an idiot. I just started opening up the bag like I did with the other one, and not only did I not open it from the top where it could be resealed, I like made a really bad rip in it. This is a spare filter. I really shouldn't have done that. It would be best to keep this sealed up permanently until I need it. so it doesn't get dust in it preemptively. We're gonna pretend like I didn't do that, okay? I do have spare bags I can use, you know, from electronics and whatnot. So I'll just transfer this into a spare bag, and it will be good. So we are at, let me erase the previous one. We are at 52 millimeters wide. Biddy do. The height I'm actually not going to bother with because, again, I'm only going to put part of it into the holder. It's not going to follow or anything like that. It's super light. 14 deep. It's actually a little bit more than 14. I'm going to call it 14.5 and give myself a little bit of extra space. Actually, maybe I should just call it 15. We'll just call it 15 to make sure that it is, you know, that especially when I put it in another bag, because I totally did not just open it being an idiot, but it will have a little bit extra space. So this is going to be designed the same exact way. We'll run through this really quick, blitz it, because we know exactly what we're doing. This is horizontal. That is centered on there. That is collinear. Where's collinear? There. There. I did not design this the same way I did the other one. That's okay. Actually, I'll just do this. Nice 3. Yeah, the problem with doing it this way is that you cannot dimension a offset. That is why this was a little bit of a problem, but we will survive. So we can do this as 52 minus that times 2, and that as 15. Oh, it was supposed to be that plus 2. This should be plus, and how did that end up as minus times 2? Go. 15 millimeters plus. Oh, that's a negative? That's a little silly. Alright. Well, that's a thing. 15 millimeters as previously discussed. And here. Centered. 4. 10. Get a center on here. Centered on there. Toss you in, make you equal, and bang this guy out. Make this 4 again. Get from object that. Oops. Nope. That. Profiles that. Distance. Let's see. Again, it doesn't necessarily need to be the full length or anything near it. I just want enough that I don't feel like it's going to accidentally knock out. So let's call it 50. Okay. And from object. Minus 3. E. Again, we'll plan on printing this on the side here. So I'll do the same exact offsets as before. Minus 0.1 offsets. And then minus 0.1 all around. Minus 0.1. There we go. Add a color. Red. Matte red. And save. And this is the dust filter folder. Create drive. It. And now we just need to position it. This is also something that is not going to be for forever. Actually, the fact of the matter is that this is probably not going to be used even before the other ones. So probably slide this guy over. Own it, guy. Slide you over. Fine. Don't have to be super precise. Actually, this guy first. Be able to grab. E. Again, I'll figure out gestures at some point. E, and there we are. Finish. And on to the next one. Read only. On the side, and now I have a variety of minor bags. Those are the chuck things, chuck wrenches sliding around. So, the collars and the miscellaneous bolts and Allen key. I don't think I'm going to take the... Actually, you know what? I probably will take the Allen key out. So I just got a couple bags that are all about the same size. So we will just go ahead and make a little holder for those guys in the same exact fashion because they're not super necessary. They don't need to be super specialized, rather, is what I meant to say. So just for the record, go back to camera really quick. It's these bags. So the collars and then these extra bolts, square bolts. These are all the same size bag. So I may as well make the same holder, or make one holder for all of them. And actually, one of these things, I guess everything's going in more or less the same place. Because this is all unnecessary stuff so far. Stuff that I'm not going to use that often. I mean, heck, honestly, most of this stuff that I have on the desktop, I'm not using that much right now at all to begin with. Like the PCB stuff, I haven't done that much PCB. I do have a project designed that I want to fabricate. It's a remake of a previous project. You can feel free to guess which one that is. A previous project that I had done a fake PCB for. And now that I have an actual machine to make PCBs, I want to do a more professional version with surface mount devices, surface mount components. Anyway, tangent aside, this stuff is not getting used that much, but since it's probably going to get used more than this stuff over here, this stuff will probably go in front along with these guys, and that will be the plan. Towards the front, I mean. The only question remaining after that is what's the best way, top or bottom rack? Again, assuming that we're not going to add any more bars right here. I could add another bar up here, for example. But if we're just positioning off this, you know, where exactly we want. So actually to that point, okay? I'm thinking that I will actually do a front mount for these little baggies that I was just holding and slide them in the back here in front of the books. That actually doesn't sound like a bad idea. So let's go ahead and do that. So this is so from the top, I think from the top, toss this in here. Gonna be a little bit OCD right there. And these bags are like, I'm gonna call it 90 millimeters. They actually fit in less than 90 millimeters, but they don't need to be that tight because they're not going anywhere. So we're going to call them 90 millimeters. The depth for all of them is kind of in a way whatever I want, because I could get more of these bags in the future. I don't know. And it may make sense to have this a little bit more open, but if I call it 25 millimeters, so I mean, basically right now, looking at it, I've got something like 15 to 18 millimeters, somewhere in that range, because this is a little hard to measure. If I go 25 millimeters, that will probably give me room for one more bag. So that's what we're going to go with. All right. And then these are going to be front mounted in front of those yellow clips. So what I'm thinking I will be doing here is manually putting a box in here. And we will go ahead and countersink. Actually. So these really aren't going anywhere, right? Right? Let's think about this. So, let's hop back up to the other screen really quick. They're gonna go right here. I'm half tempted to actually have the built-in T-nut on them to slide in, because they're gonna be in the way back and nothing's ever gonna touch them, and they're just gonna hang out there. So I think I might not even bother with T-nutting it. Might just slide them on there. Now, to be fair, I actually could have done the same thing with all these. These guys would probably print just fine that way. Just run the T-nut again on this edge, and it will print facing like that, as we discussed before, with no changes. So we could use that as an option. Might consider it. Because the point being is that like none of this is actually going anywhere. Probably. I don't imagine anything is gonna vibrate off from the machine moving. So it honestly could all be just slide on pieces, flipped on pieces. I mean, heck, yeah. I mean, I literally just said it. It could be clip on as well. You know, they could just snap into place. I think I feel a little more comfortable with the sliding them on, especially because I don't see these things changing. If this was something where I would pull the whole entire case off, on and off, then I would do a clip. But I'm not going to take the whole entire case off. I'm just going to lift the item out of its holder. So, yeah, you know what? Let's make that change. I like this idea. All right, let's get you open, and you open. Then we can hop over here. Miscellaneous. Grab my 2020. 2020. Come on. Proceed. Okay. But let's get this all inserted at once. Proceed. Fine. Insert. Proceed. Okay. And I'll come back and fix that later. We can close that now. And let us. So that is that right there. So I can straight up delete that. We can delete that. We can move that to the front. Then how do I undo that? Yeah, actually, I think what I want to do is delete this all together, project that out, X, project that out. Then these guys are behind. We are from the doesn't just line this up like that. So then plus here. Hey, it's been a while since I've had a few double line. That's fun. You know what? What if I just mirror this? Yeah, probably don't want to. So slide this up first. That would make more sense. And I had this 2mm from the bottom. Go out. That off. There. Linear. And now that quinkydink, that there, that second sneezing. Bless me. Okay. Let's see. I'm reconsidering this. Do I need to? No, I don't need to reconsider this. Okay. We'll just do that, and I will toss another line in here. Okay. Oh gosh. This guy got foobarred. Alright. I am going to just redo this. Which again is the problem with splines. There's my check mark all the way over there. Remake this guy. Make that 3mm right there. That 1.5mm right there. And oh no, this was, how did I have this before? Was it not 1.5? Was it 2.5? 2? I just know that angle looks off. A and toss you in here. Okay. So that, then sketches that guy, to object there. Just in case, we'll do from object there. Join mirror features that guy, that face. I'm going to sketch off. Now we are going to need some offsets here. I'm going to be a little bit more generous with the offsets, just because, again, it's not going anywhere. So that is not 0.2, that is 2. All right, there we go. This is not going anywhere. It's better not to print this and accidentally end up with a foobar. It being too tight on the extrusion. That's one updated. We don't need that. I will go ahead and fix everything later. We'll slide this guy up front, and we will go off of that. Delete that. Actually, finish. Before we do that, let's rotate you so I don't have to change my sketch. Select origin Z 90 E. All right, cool. So project that edge. E. Make you centered on that edge. E. Delete this stuff. E. And fix the extrusion. Let's see. Yeah, all this stuff is second rack, so we will go. We can actually delete this one. Delete this one, and hopefully it doesn't remove my other extrusions. Okay. So from object, we'll go from the top here, and that's 25. I believe that is correct. Don't do that. New body. E. And that is still correct, and then we just have to add in side. Oh, it did get rid of my whatchamacallits though, which is a little bit annoying. My offsets. This. Have to fix that. That off. Do the same way we did before. Extrude body from object distance all. All right, fine. To object. Actually, I guess it wants that drop, so we will go ahead and oblige it. Then fix this, and then we can re-add in our offset. Just and offsets. That, how did that get the outside? What are you doing, Fusion? Nice. 0.1. 0.1, please. Thank you. Offsets. 0.1. OP. And recolor it. And save. Okay. I guess we'll open up that panel instead of manually navigating. Only that's not the one we're on right now. That is the one we're on right now. Okay. Gotcha. Alright. You to front. Rotate you 90. On it. Black. Origin. The axis. 90 degrees. Okay. Please. Oh. I didn't click it evident. Please? Huh. What is wrong with you? Well, to begin with, I need to be over here. To be fair. To be fair. Components. That guy. Select origin. That guy. 90 degrees. 90 degrees. Okay. Capture. Delete all that. Or not all that. Delete all that. Delete that. Project that. Front. Front. So I actually want to project the other one. E. Turn you off. Center that. You guys were left over. Finish. And delete that one as previously discussed. Turn you back on. From object there. 50 is correct. Oh, don't join though. Darn. Okay. Oh, wait. This one kept the offsets. Why? Why did this one keep the offsets? That is wonky. Turn the origin off now. Project. Bodies. Hey, body. And we are almost caught back up now that we made these changes. Just need to realign everything after we get this squared away from object to object, join, and me. Features, that guy, off the top, adjust. Oh shoot, I forgot to do the offsets on the other guy. Slot offset. So we do have to double back and fix that. -0.2. Okay, there we go. Now we just need to color it, and we are almost done. Save. Hop back to the Carvera. Add-ons. Grab this guy, fix this guy. Got these offsets. There and there, -2. And now we should be finally back to where we were 20 minutes ago. With the exception of alignment, but I'll fix alignment after we get this next folder done. Make read only. Make read only. And here we need to hop back and grab. Actually, what I'm going to do, so I don't have to keep on popping back here, is make a copy of that and paste it into the add-ons folder. Extrusion, copy, Carvera, add-ons, copy. There we go. Now everything is in the Carvera add-ons. Carvera, add-ons, insert. Oh, has never been saved. Okay. That makes sense. Baggie holder. Okay. Insert. Please. Blocks. We need you to rotate axis 90. All right, there we go. Solid. Almost solid. I was thinking about breaking the link right now. That's what that hesitation was, but I decided I'm not going to bother. That. Why that is not moving. Understood. Centered there. And then at this point we can just do this the same exact way as we did the other ones. No, we can't. I should not have moved this yet. There we go. Chain select clicks. 3. Okay, now we can go ahead and do that just like the other ones. And what is unconfined on this model? We got the widths, we got our offsets, we got that centered. That is horizontal. What is there? Just a random dot right there? Sketch dot show under constrained. Huh. Why? Let's delete it and try again. 3 A slide center. Did we not do this for the other ones? Am I going crazy here? We literally just fixed this 2 seconds ago. Oh, this was under constraint as well. Okay, never mind. Evidently it was like that the whole entire time and I was not paying attention. Fair enough. Okay. Wait a second. Sorry. Now I'm double thinking everything. Okay. What I was double thinking there was that I had accidentally aligned the edge of the extrusion with the inside line. That's what I thought I saw there because I suddenly started getting paranoid. That was not the case. So, baggie holder is extrude. Not that though. Extrusion. So this is going at the bottom. So what we want to do is from object that offset by 2 minus 2. Go. And then we can make it however tall we want. Twitch. I'm actually gonna go to 50 again for these guys. Even though these guys are really light and not going anywhere, because they're kind of bulky and awkward, I kind of want more holding them. So, actually, this is not going to be offset by 2. This is going to be offset by 5 because we also need the bottom. Go. Sketch. That and that from object. There. I could have made it 53 instead, but this is more logical in my personal opinion. And again, very simple box for these guys. Don't need to overthink it. Although I will remember to project with the construction line enabled. Give myself some clicking. Turn the origin off so it's not being annoying. Turn these guys on really quick. We are still on construction line. Not like that, please. Please be perpendicular. Collinear. Not collinear yet. Let's make sure that you are lined up first. Alright. Much better. Okay. And finish this guy off. Finish, extrude. Bodies. Hey, bodies. That is not 2 object. That is 2. TWO. Join, mirror, features, that, select, that, just, offsets. Almost done. Almost on to something more interesting. Did I miss that face? Yes. Minus 0.2. Again, going to be printed outside, just like everything else. So, minus 0.1. And then, oops. Minus 0.1. E. And for the color, probably going to end up being purple. That is, where's purple? Go. Okay. Save. Create drive. This thing. Whoops. Click. There we go. And now we can update all and get everything aligned the way we need it to. So let's just delete all our alignment stuff. How about that? Delete that stuff. Delete that stuff. I'm gonna keep this in for the moment. And we will get to fixing. Line component with that. And then we can flip it. Nope, we can't flip it. I take it back. I lied. Actually, I guess what I should do you know what? Because we had to double back and make all those modifications to change how we're attaching these, I am not going to worry about that at the moment because that is just busy work. So instead, we are going to move on to the next holder. So bags out of the way. All right, now we have the more interesting stuff. Actually, I lied. We have one more stupid box, which is the wireless probe box. Wireless probe box is going to look like everything else. That's why I called it a stupid box. Our dimensions here are... Actually, you know what? Save wireless probe holder. Actually, you know what? I'm going to save that for off stream. I'll do that off stream. You see me do that 3 different times, twice, because we had to redesign. So I will save that for off stream, and we will do something more interesting with the time that we have here. So these are the bag that I'm opening up right now and making all this noise. Is the UV resin, whatever you call this, the solder mask. That's what it's called. And we have... Huh. Did I not have 2 of each color? Am I going crazy here? I thought I had 2 of each color. I have 2, 2, and 1. Quick check of the manual. Solder mask. Oh no, it's only 5. Okay, gotcha. Evidently it is 2, 2, and 1. So, quick drink of water. These guys are more interesting. These guys will go into clips, I think. Is the actually, you recall that space I was talking about underneath here. This would be a good use for this. We can make vertical hangers that these things slide onto. That is a lot more interesting. I like that better. So, let us go ahead and get this saved really quick. This is the solder mask rack. Get this guy in here for reference. Insert into current design. Oh no, you are the wrong object. It slid on me. In my defense, that popped up at the top and slid down 1. Alright. Front. Actually, I should have rotated that guy. That guy. Axis. Please. Thank you. 90. Capture. Turn this off. Okay. How do I want to design this? I think I want to design it top down. Well, I could do it bottom up, but top down makes more sense. And the next question is, because we can be more interesting with this, Do we want it open all the way through? All right, so actually, you know what? Let's hop back to the camera. I've had these lights blaring me in the face for like 20 minutes now. So if I gotta deal with the lights and not turn them off because I'm too lazy to plug them, we're gonna actually use the whiteboard. So, basically, these guys I plan to have hanging upside down like this, and I'll use these two tabs right here to hold them like that, so they just slide on. Seems like a good idea to me. The question though is, do I want to put it back to it? So we can either design this where we do the key slot first, do this guy first, okay? And then we switch to the top view. We will have this long block right here as we see it. That is the top view. And then I can go ahead and do straight through things like this. So this will be one. So it would slide in like this. Alternatively, we can start out with that and have a back to it and design it like this. Kind of like a foam or a dovetail joint thingy. So those are our two options on how we feel like designing it. And then this just gets connected up top, you know. We then add this guy. So those are our two options, like I said. I kind of like this one better just because I don't have to worry about sliding this in and stopping. It will automatically stop me. I can push it all the way back till I feel resistance and then stop. So I think I'm going to go with that one. I think I'm going to go with this guy right here. So, and actually now that I have said that, we're going to turn it off. Again, my eyes are starting to kill me from the glare reflection. And in that case, we are top down, so I can design it this way first. So, let us project. Let's see. I kind of want them centered underneath, I think. I do want them centered. Nah. You know, just in case I want to put something behind the bar. So back over here, if these go in front, okay, towards the front, then I can still have space behind the bar to put stuff. In which case, I guess I'll design it so that they stop in front. Or stop, you know, away from the back. So, that being said, this is the back right here, right? Yep. Grab that edge as a reference. And then go back to our top view. And I will not be aligning with that, so I'm just using that as a reference. There, and angled. And then 2 millimeters like I did before. For everything else I was calling 18, right? It's the same deal. All right, now one of those deals where we will just extrapolate this out. We'll make one holder and then go from there. So we can just use a circle, I think is the easiest way to do this. I will go ahead. Whoops, don't do that. Okay, there we go. Let us... Yeah, I will draw a back line in here. And this is... What do we want to call this? I can call it 4. I'm happy with it being 4. And then we can line this in the center of that. There, and tangent. Oops. 4 for 4, move. Thank you. Tangent. And then we just need to figure out how wide the the barrel is, and everything past the barrel. So the barrel is like 18.8. We can give ourselves the extra 2 millimeters of space loose, so we can just call it 19 because it doesn't have to be tight in there. It's not going anywhere. So we call that 19. And then we decide how much extra space we want out the front. So how much space do we want between the front of the rack where it opens and that? And honestly, I'm gonna say 6, like a 1/4 inch. It may be useful to go more, but I'm not gonna really worry about it. I will note at this point that this does stick out past the front of the extrusion. This is 19 right here just for this, and then that 4 plus that 2, we're way over. Now we got the 6 here. So these racks will be sticking out the front of the extrusion, which means that anything that I want to attach to the front of the extrusion needs to make sure that it is above the bottom. It cannot dip below the bottom. So now we can take this, tangent that. That will give us that. And then all we have to do is decide how thick we want the walls on it. And I don't know. I was just going to say, I think I'm just going to go with 4 again. Keep everything simple. And that's probably fine. Oh, actually, I lied to you. I literally just lied to you, because this width right here has to be at least the tabs, which is 34. So it's 34 to the outside of the tabs. Plus, we should leave ourselves a little bit of space. Let's say 3 millimeters on each side. So that's 34 plus 6 is 50. So this just straight up needs to be 50. That was pretty darn close for a guess. Okay, and now this can tangent on there. Boom, bam, bam, bam. And now, last thing to do is to create this slot for these guys to roll into, slide into. And we can consider one more thing, which is adding little bumps to the front of the slot so that it doesn't want to slide out on its own. So that we have to lift it up a little bit. Make sure this is perpendicular instead of horizontal. And I think that is a good idea. I think it is a good idea to add little bumps. The only question is, do we want to add that in a second sketch and make them like triangles or something like that? Which I think I kind of do want to. Okay. I just had a revelation, which is, I'm not sure how this is printing. How are we printing this? That is an excellent question. Huh. I definitely don't want to use a whole bunch of support material. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Okay. I got it. This one we will use T-nuts for. Okay. That is fine. So, in that case, we are going to have to design this a bit differently then. I think no. No, we don't. We don't really need to. Yeah, we don't really need to. So what we can do is just find this center line, project that out. Okay. Turn you off. Toss a line in here. And we can add little connection points and allow connection points throughout it and only use however many I feel is necessary. So let me get them in here so that we can demonstrate really quick. Okay, never mind. That is actually going to be a problem. Okay. So basically, what I'm looking at is, again, this circle is our flanges, our rough flanges. We need to attach so that we don't run into these. The 50 millimeters was including an extra space, an extra 3 millimeters. I can't talk, obviously. An extra 3 millimeters of space on each side. Where I was going with this is that we were going to use spacers to offset the T-nut to provide a solid connection, and those are going to take up space. They're going to take up probably, I mean, I could do them like 2 millimeter wall. All right, so that would be 4 millimeters for wall, and then if I'm using the M4s, that's another 4 millimeters, so that's 8 millimeters of extra space around the flanges that we need. And that is like right there, right? So you can see how this line goes pretty close to the center of the flange. The flange is not an actual circle like this. It is going to end up something more like this. I think that's more or less correct. Okay. So in theory, we could try to sneak it in right here, but I still don't think we have enough space. And actually, I included my 3 millimeters here. So let me take this down to 4.6 is 44. Was it 44? That doesn't sound right to me, but maybe I'm just... Are my calipers off? How do we get to 50? My calipers are now saying 34, which is a lot different from 44. Okay, so there's 34 right there. This would be more like that. Here is our center line where we need to put the T-nuts. So we could design this, because this is going to be a repeating pattern. We could design half the T-nut right here and then just fill in the ends. Or, you know, not pattern the ends, rather, would be the more correct way of saying it. So if that's that, and that is 2 millimeters, 2 millimeters, 4 millimeters. All right, so you can see how we're off here. Yeah, that obviously overlaps this guesstimate on what this flange is. So how much more do I think I need to fit this in here, which is more or less 2 millimeters, it looks like. So I'm going to go with that, and we're going to hope that I'm correct about this. So let us go ahead, and I actually don't want to do this. I don't think I want to keep, I don't want to change that. I think because I'm going to may need to adjust this in the future, I believe I'm going to just throw another box in here, the linear, and add the extra meat in here. I'm going to call it 3 millimeters at this point, just to be on the safe side, because again, I'm pretty sure the, oh, I guess I do need, so that one can be a construction line. Yeah, I think this should work. Deleted. There we go. And this line we will just take from, oh, that is that the smaller line, or is that the bigger line? Okay, that's the line for connecting those two. So I want to delete that one and drag you over to here. And now, oh, actually, to be fair, I don't even need the smaller line at this point. The smaller line I was going to use to position the hole, but that is a bit unnecessary at this point. So delete it. You bring you out here. And this is my 4 millimeter hole. And just make one on the other side. Do I want to make one on the other side? I guess I don't, because I'm going to be patterning anyway. So let's go with this right now. We're gonna finish sketch. Turn you back on. Maybe don't turn you back on just yet. Let me get the extrusion set first. Actually, let me indulge in a little bit of OCD here. Turn you back off. There we go. All right. So here is our extrusion. It is going that way. We are going to go from object here, and this offset is whatever we need plus a bit for the ends. So the ends are about 7. I'm going to go ahead and call it like 15, just because we don't want to be struggling getting these guys in here. Whoops, that is not what I wanted. Minus 15 plus 15. There we go. And then this, because one of those things, it's just extruding in the other direction, is going to be minus... I'm going to make it 4 again. 4 is pretty sturdy. All right. There is that. I am going to go ahead and toss in those little nubs that I was talking about. So we can go ahead and project that out. And toss in the little nubs. Call this like 3 is fine. Call this 45 and call it a day. Finish. Extrude. Body. From object. That. We can call it like 5. Fine. Join. We'll mirror it over. Feature. Centered on the origin to begin with. Fine. Okay, why'd you do that? Identical. Alright, cool. Now, we can pattern. Long line. Yeah, I will just use bodies instead of figures. And we are going to body facing... Oh, actually, you know what? Let me double check what this is. What do we end up with? 40. Good, even number. Bodies, objects, path. Distance is 40. Spacing, 40. Try that again. 0. And I want this symmetric, and we will have 5. And that is good. And now we can go ahead and combine all this. Combine bodies. There, and there. Don't keep holes. And now on to the holes. Distance all. Flip it. Flip it good. Okay. Features. This one will be a feature. That hole. Select that line. Our spacing we already know is 40. Although it's defaulted. Thinking extent again. Starting at 0. Metric. And I will want to suppress, I'm pretty sure. We'll find out whether or not I'm wrong about that. Actually, I guess I'm not. I guess this is what I got. Okay, yeah. So I don't need suppression. Alright, cool. So we have 4 potential modeling spots. I may only do these 2 on the ends, but just in case we have extra. And the whatchamacallits, we should have enough space there to fit the nubs in the flanges. And now we just need the offset, the standoffs. The standoffs. That's the word I'm looking for. So let me actually make this as a new body, new component. One thing I would like to address, just because I did not mention it when I started streaming again, is you'll notice that I'm not doing a lot of the quality of life things I used to do. And I just came to the conclusion that it was taking too much time. I was taking too long in stream getting all that stuff done. So in theory, I should be going back and fixing that stuff outside of stream. I haven't really been doing that, unfortunately. But if it becomes a serious issue, I will. Otherwise, we won't particularly complain about it. It's one of those things. The quality of life stuff only really matters if it becomes an issue to begin with. So, and actually, I will use these tabs to keep myself a little bit off of... nah, I take it back, I take it back. Give me the edges. Back to, I didn't want to overlap the front and back, but that's easier to do off of these guys. So, yeah, well, easier to control, I should say. Easier to specify. Let's grade at it, please. Thank you. That's funny. That doesn't feel perpendicular? Why doesn't that feel perpendicular? Oh, I guess I'm just barely off. That's why. Okay. Whatever. So, 2 millimeters from both sides. 2 millimeters from both sides. I'm going to center this on circle. Center. And I guess I will just use another circle to set the radius. Actually, you know what? No. We will just hit the equals button. We will hit the equals button and be happy with our lives. Alright, extrude that. We actually want this from the extrusion. From objects. And I'm using a little plate here. Just to give a solid surface. That way I don't worry about it accidentally slipping in between the cracks here. It has plenty of surface area that I don't have to worry about it. That is the rationale there. From object, there, distance to object, body, there. And I also don't need to worry about adjusting this because I have plenty of space. I lowered this plenty. So even if this were a little bit short, this offset was a little bit short, I shouldn't notice it. I shouldn't notice the space I'm missing from this being too close to that because this is off a little bit. So that is the rationale why I'm not too worried about it. I will only make one here. I won't pattern it just because when I go to print it, I will decide at that point how many I want. So we will leave it like that until that point, so that when we import the file, it is not a problem. However, I am, in case I forget later, again, quality of life thing, make sure to label the bodies for printing purposes. And finally some color, and we will have this guy imported into the full tool rack. Plastic. We'll use beige for that guy and brick red for that guy. Save and derive and move on to the next one. Key, all, select, and close that guy. Read only. Read only. Oh, that was the wrong one to read only. My bad. This guy was the one I wanted to read. There we go. All right, and now on to the next. All right. Let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead. We'll do the miscellaneous. Let's hop back over to the camera really quick so we can see what we're looking at here. Oh. Hydrate. So, in this bag, we have the plunger for the syringes and the syringe needles. So we're going to need something for that. And then we got this rolly wheel. And this thing I'm passing over for right now. We're going to get these guys done first. And this guy done first. And this guy, I'm actually at this point, I'm kind of thinking I may not mount this guy. This guy is more like a large tool. Well, it is a large tool, but it's more like an separate accessory. It kind of falls into the same category as the fourth axis right, in my personal opinion. And for that reason, I'm considering not mounting it with the rest of this stuff. That logic honestly may be a little bit dubious, but for the time being, until we get done this and that, which this is going to be pretty simple, I'm pretty sure, that will be where we're at. I'm thinking for this guy, actually, we may do this guy really quick, and I will make, so actually, let's just draw. Let's just draw. And I'm going to grab a different mark. Let's color do. I'm feeling blue. All right. So, this guy, I'm actually thinking so obviously it feels a little silly making something just for this 3mm. I think this is 3mm. It might be 2. Allen key. Let's check. Hex wrench. 2.5. All right. I was wrong in both guesses. It was halfway in between. So instead of making one dedicated thing for this, which again feels a little bit silly, I'm actually going to go ahead and make a magnet bar. That makes sense to me. So all we really need to do is make a box, make a hole in the box for a magnet, have it offset a little bit so that it's sticking out a little bit, and then that can just slide on with our normal our normal T-slot hole, and that will be good to go. So this will be a rather simple design again, but the nice thing about this is that we will be able to use this in the future for other things that we want to just magnetize really quickly up onto it. And as I'm saying that, let me just I have bar magnets, but I have bar magnets, but I don't have them at my desk. They're put away in a box. So I just wanted to confirm really quick that this is not some kind of weird metal. One of those things. You make enough mistakes and you get paranoid. So I have now confirmed that this is in fact magnetic and will work just fine. Back over to Fusione. And this is going to be our magnet bar. Magnet bar. Yeah, it will just be magnet bar, not magnet bar holder. Alright, and let me grab my magnets. And I'm going to have to sort this by name because I have no idea when I actually made these things. They should be under Neo. Did that not just sort by name? Sort by name. Fusion. Refresh. There we go. Much better. Should be under neodymium. Neodymium. Let's see here. There we go. And that should be my largest bar magnet. I'm pretty sure that's the largest bar magnet I have. So, insert into current design. And this is old enough that chances are, let's see. Yeah, it is separate objects as opposed to a base feature. It doesn't necessarily matter in this case, but good to know. All right, and we just make a housing for this and we will be good. Actually, we do want that to be solid. You are not up and down, you are parallel to that. And again, doesn't need to be much. Honestly, do I even go 3 or do I just go 2? And am I even? For the rest of these designs, I've used offset. I will reiterate, as I do every stream, why I normally do not use offset is because it breaks very easily on changes. But I've been using it this stream, and hopefully it will not actually break. So as stated, I want the magnet to stick out a little bit, so we will offset from object. Let's see. How much? I mean, I kind of want to go like a full millimeter, honestly. And this is going to have to be minus. And distance to object. And new body. And the back wall. We can just make it another 2 millimeters. Again, it's not holding much. And I've got something, so I don't know if you can hear me messing with my ear, but I have something popping in my ear. It is annoying me. All right, combine that with that, cut that out. Okay. Whoopsies. Let us keep X. There we go. Hop in here. We need the extrusion. So back up. Go back home. Server. Add-ons. Insert. Rotate. 90. A. Align. Actually, we will align after we align now. Component. That. A. Capture position. Hey, what happened? What'd you do? Align. You being silly? You are being silly. Why are you reaching through? There's a body in the way there. All right. Same old song. Poof! Fusion, are you trying to make me upset? Stop doing that. Holy cow. Turn off all the bodies. Don't center that. Actually, well, it should be. Yeah, I actually do want this centered. It should be centered right now. One of those things, because Fusion doesn't save component level, what do you call it? Alignments. Because it doesn't save those things, we're probably fine. I mean, it probably doesn't change anything, rather, is what I meant to say. That we did not center align it to begin with. We just straight aligned it. So again, that is probably not that big of a deal, but if I make major changes to this, which is highly unlikely, but if I do, it may be better to I guess this is getting printed on its side as well. I just realized. The alternative, actually. Yeah, you know what? So this saves me a bit of plastic. And it solves the printing issue for this. So the one reason why I wouldn't want to print this on the side is because the neodymium magnet should sit in there tight, okay? But I can kill 3 birds with 1 stone. A, saving plastic. B, not printing on its side. C, being stuck in there tight. And D, adding an additional failsafe here by using bolts instead, because the magnet will actually stick to the bolts on top of that. So that is actually the most optimal situation possible. Actually, why am I going to miscellaneous? These are in fasteners. Fasteners. There we go. So let us roll on back here really quick. Add in my 4mm bolts. Socket head. So because these are countersinking inside of the base, I should use button heads instead. My problem is 90% of my M4s are socket heads instead of button heads. That is my problem. I'm just checking my miscellaneous button head. So I got M4x12s here. which is, yeah, that's going to be too long. So I guess we're stuck with the socket heads. Push everything back and grab our socket heads. Insert. Proceed. Come back home while we're here. Close you out. Okay, all I need you for is for your sizes. So, this extrusion, this is going to be 2 millimeters plus head thickness, bolt head thickness. There we go. And we want to come back in here and add those guys in. Turn that off. This is so I probably should put some gaps in here in order to get the magnet back out afterwards. So we will do that. And that's probably easiest just done like this, I think. I was going to do circles here, but actually boxes make more sense. So let's go ahead and, well, hold on. Let me, one thing at a time, get these bolts set up. Centered over here. Bolt head diameter. There's the other end. Is equals and and is fine as previously discussed. All right, now back to the cutouts here. Just make this collinear with that. That collinear with that. And then we can mirror this one around. That's fine. So let's see. I'm gonna say 12. I'm gonna say 12 millimeters, just so that my finger, doesn't get in the way. We'll do the same thing over here, 10 millimeters, and then again we'll mirror that around. So let us. We'll take the cut first, and then where's my sketch at? There it is. Countersink from object minus head thickness, or plus the head thickness, whichever we require. And then, I should have thrown the 4 millimeter bolt in. That would make sense. M4 bolt size. There we go. Equals. Finish. Distance all. Okay. And then grab that box. Through distance all. Okay, and mirror that around. Select there. Mirror those two. Select bottom plane. E. All right. Everything looked good. So just add in some offsets. Again, I do want this to be pretty tight in here. So I'm only gonna do 0.05 like I normally do. Minus 0.05. And then these countersinks can be a bit sloppy, so we'll go 0.1 here. Minus 0.1. E. And that should be good. Hop on over to the end. so that we can see everything in place. And that failed to get aligned correctly because, again, Fusion does not save a reference for component level alignments. There we go. All right, cool. And now things can just hang out on there. Just slap things up on there. Turn the extrusion off. Add some color. And this is going to be orange, I think. I think I'll be making this orange. And we can go ahead and save that. And next we can move on to arrive it first. Design. Select. And close that out. Open the data panel. Make that uneditable. And finally, as I was going to say, move on to the next thing, which is the roller and the the rest of the soldering kit stuff. Need to get them out of the bag so I can get measurements. There we go. All right, so let's see. I think we're gonna do clips for all this stuff. Well, not for the syringe nozzles. The syringe nozzles will be pressed into something. We'll just make some little holes for them. It looks like I did not do a good job clearing out the one syringe nozzle, so that is not great. Huh. Whoopsies. Alright, so just clips, right? Don't need to be too fancy. I'm just considering, so I'm considering on, let's drag you over here with me. I'm considering on this roller. I don't think I'll connect to the roller itself, but I'm thinking I might do the handle rather than this middle rod right here. That's what I'm leaning towards. So a clip to hold it like that, a clip to hold this like this, and then a little block to stab these things into. And honestly, it may make sense to get a sponge and actually... Does that make sense? I feel like that makes sense to me. To grab a sponge and stab them into the sponge, as opposed to the plastic, trying to get appropriately sized holes in the plastic. I think that makes a lot more sense to me. So let's go ahead and get this designed. I'm gonna make this all one unit. All right, let's grab our extrusion and save first. Need to save first. Solder tools, holder. Grab the extrusion. Insert. E. And I forgot to rotate again. That's fine. That's fine. No harm, no foul. Just a little bit of annoyance. 90. A. And back onto the holders. And we will design these from the top down. That is not the top down. Please, Fusion. Thank you. Okay. Grab that guy for reference. Turn him off now. Gonna drop a back plate in here. That. Let me tilt this really quick. Make it easier to line up. Because we need to do that, and then we need to linearize it. Linearized. And now that can be 4 millimeters like we've been doing. Still comfortable with that. The first clip. So as you guys know, if you've been following the series, I've been favoring replaceable clips. What that means, is that really going to be a problem here? I don't think it will be. It's probably not going to be a problem here. Never mind. I was going to talk a little bit about it, but about some issues that could arise, but I don't think that's necessary. All right, yeah. I feel comfortable with what we're doing right now, so let's just get some measurements. The first one, which is the roller, I'm going to call that 17. It's one of those things. The roller has a Vaj shape to it. It has some bevels. So 17 is what I'm going to call the center point of it, and we'll just go off of that. It's one of those things, in theory, I should probably loft this between a couple different heights to more closely follow the shape of the handle, but yeah, no, actually I really should at least add some kind of loft to it. Yeah, alright, fine. Let's see then. Yeah, okay, so I will design the top part on this one. We'll extrude it to wherever it needs to be. And then from there, I will offset and design the bottom part of the loft. That's how we're going to go about it. So, the top part of the loft then is going to be, I'm going to call it 20.1. We'll make that 20.1. So, 20.1, not 20 equals 1. 20.1. We can go ahead and toss. I've been doing 2 millimeters recently, right? Or has it been 1.5? Let's go with 2 millimeters. So there is that. We will put this at the end, so I will go ahead and actually I take that back. So our back plate for this guy, because again, this is how I make the clips, the replaceable clips. Don't do that, please. Please. Well, alright, you know what? I actually can't complain to Fusion about that one because I really didn't get anywhere near anything else for it to reference off of. But here's where we're at. That is going to be centered on that. This is do I want this? Yeah, where do I want this guy? Here. I don't want it all the way out there, obviously. I could go halfway. Yeah, you know what? Let's go halfway. So, instead of, where is my Quinkydink? I don't see my Quinkydink here. Does anybody see it? Oh, that's because it's only a center. That is why. Okay, that makes sense. I obviously have been streaming too long and I'm starting to get cranky. Yep, 2-hour stream. Obviously too long. I blame it on the fact that I haven't been streaming recently. Entirely my fault. We toss in another circle here to get the midpoint. All that divided by 2. And then we line that dot up on that midpoint. There we go. Now, let's see. So I have been designing these differently. I was designing these. No, actually, I don't think I was designing differently. I think I literally just lied to you. Oh, that's right. That's how I've been doing this recently. Let me take a quick look and find. Crap, I can't remember what the other ones are. So, let me pull this up on stream really quick. So these are the, if you're not familiar, camera. These are the clips for my markers. And I forgot, I was actually leaving this gap down the bottom here and leaving that open so that it had extra flex. I think I might have done it a different way on another design, but I'm totally blanking out on what the other design was, what I used to. So, since I can't remember what the other design was for these clips, we're going to go ahead and continue with the way that we know that works. So, back to Fusion. Let's see. So that, we're going to delete all these dots. Delete that. This is going to go tangent to that. And then, did I just randomly call this some number? All right, you know what? It's time to investigate. Markers. Miscellaneous. Markers. 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 I might have too much in this folder. Markers. Marker holders. Ultrafine. What was the original number? Let's see. So we were using 1.5. Okay, yeah, these are the backup clips. That's fine. That makes sense. That's 1.5. How did I... What is my measurement for the center point here? Oh, and I actually didn't even tangent the center. I actually went all the way up there. 1, 1. So I went up there. We have this. That's fine. This 4 millimeters. Backboard thickness. Okay, because I was just doing the clip. Okay, I get that. Okay. How did I determine how deep this went? This parallel with something? Well, no, yeah, it would be parallel. How did I determine the depth on this guy? What is the constraint? There's that. 1.5. 4 to there. 1.5. Oh, okay. Flex wall thickness. Okay. And then this offset right here, this 1 millimeter offset. Okay, I see what we did here. So, in that case, I'm gonna delete this really quick. This is 4, just like we had on the other one, right? So, we had a 1 millimeter clearance around this. 1 millimeters. That butted up against here. Then we had our box. And that was connected here. And we don't need the center line because we're connecting the 2 edges here. So it's going to naturally centerize. And then we had 1.5 right here. And then I can go ahead and just tangent this out the side, and that should be plenty. No, it shouldn't. I take it back. I lied. That is not going to be plenty. Control Z. Let us drop the other box in. Boink, boink, boink. And center that guy up. I'm not going crazy here, right? Yeah, I'm not going crazy. We're still on track. Drop you in here, and then you are going to be tangent to that. There we go. And now we can add 2 millimeters of space right here. And that should be good. What is the last... What is... Yeah, I see this. Okay, no, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. As long as I'm not doing anything in this direction, that makes sense because we're just centered. That is fine. Okay. All right. So This does get a little bit messy now that I am doing the following the shape of the handle. Now I'm following the shape of the handle, this does get a little bit messy. Because of this cutout right. And actually, I should throw one more box in here, which is, this is 1.5. Oops. Or actually, this is 2 right here is what it is. And this honestly should be 2 here. Actually, I guess that's what it was. I guess I went a little thinner on the back plate right here last time, because I do recall that being 1.5, but I think that's unnecessary. Basically, that would give me a little bit more meat here and here, but again, unnecessary. So anyway, this should just be right there, right? Pretty sure that's correct. And then finally, these little backup guys to make it sure it doesn't fall out. And what did I do for these guys? I assume I did. Okay, so that's 60 and 1. Okay. 60. That guy. 1. Why does that look so much shallower? Oh, I did the other 60. That is why. This would actually be 30. Okay. Okay. So, I guess I move on and just get the other one done then. The other 2, rather, I should say, done really quick. The other thing is that this is now going to be T-slotted on with the bolts. Because I cannot continuously print the plastic T-slot. So, let's get the other things done, as I was saying. Can you just give me parallel, please? Thank you. Okay. This is going to be the little sponge box. I am going to totally make up numbers. We're going to just make this 25. 25 sounds like a wonderful number. 25 by 10. Let's call it 25 by 10. And that was literally just me randomly looking at sizes on my calipers until something felt right. I'm going to delete this guy and just use offsets like we were... Oh, that's right. I can't use offsets because I need to align to it. So, there's that. That. Alright. And then this is collinear with that. Collinear with that. We're putting the sponge box on the end. And now the only thing we have left is the plunger holder. And the plunger holder gets designed exactly like the other guy. So we get the center size, we get the offset, the plastic, and then we get the offset. And we know that this guy is... Actually, I'm going to make this guy 1.5 instead of the 2. I felt more comfortable with the 2 on the wooden handle because it's so much larger and it's not necessarily heavier, but mostly because it's so much larger. Let's get the diameter on this guy really quick. 8 millimeters. Yeah, we're going to call it 8 millimeters. This is one of those things, again, it can flex. So it's not going to be that big of a deal. Oh, I just realized I didn't put the cutout in front. How did I determine that one? I took an angle? Okay, I took an angle. That's how I determined that one. Let's get you and you. Actually, yeah, we can do 90 there. Do a line that's collinear here. Try not to delete my line that's collinear. Please? Alright, fine. Oh, bless me. Sorry, I didn't mute that one. Where did it... Oh, that's where it was. Okay. You know what? Since that line is unhinged right now, we're gonna just spin this around and then make it perpendicular. This is not gonna come back to bite me later. Honest. That is... Oh. So I have this as a right angle right now, right? Which means that I can't actually reference it in the equation. So at that point, I may as well just make it 45. I was going to do 90 here and then split it, 90 divided by 2 in order to get the other angle. That's not happening at this point. All right, there we go. So anyway, back over to here. We will go ahead and toss our boxes in. Please just give me that. Thank you. That is fine. As long as it's relative to something else. Grab that. Grab that. Grab that. And that. We are 1.5 on the guy. 1.5. And then we are tangent that. Grab my boxes. Boxes in the front. Where did I line these guys up? Did I bother with these guys? I did not. Okay. Well, I didn't with the one. It looks like I did with the other. Throw my back plate in. Please just give me perpendicular. Thank you. You guys are 2 millimeters. You are collinear with that. Honestly, actually, grab that line. Let's make you centered. Then we can go ahead and collinear these guys. Here, collinear. That can be tangent. That guy, as we discussed before. Toss these lines in. Delete that. That perpendicular. Toss that in. Toss the 45s in. And then, let's see, that's 1.5. Did I? What is our problem here? Oh, that is what our problem is. I never actually... What did I say this was? Was this 8? Yes, this was 8 millimeters. I forgot to actually put the 8 millimeters for it. That would be a problem. Okay, cool. Weren't you guys... I guess you weren't centered on this. There we go. And now... That should be centered on that, so that should be a problem. Yep, none of that is a problem. Okay, that is a problem. What was my solution over here? Oh, I never actually trained that. What was the width here? I know the height. I figured out the height. What was my width? Oh, I just said both sides. That's all. Wait, no. That doesn't make any sense. That only makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I take it back. None of it makes sense. What was my width? Right? This is going to be over constrained here as well. Oh, no, it's not. Why is this not over constrained? Oh, because this guy is not centered on that guy. That is why that is. Let's delete that. Get that center in instead. Centered. Or not. So if that's center, why? Oh, because my whole entire thing is. That is why. That is why. Okay. But this center still shrinks, right? Yes. How did I decide how far this was open? 1.5. This is centered on here. Actually, where is the center? I'm not actually seeing any centers, am I? Got that on there, but what about this guy and that? No, that guy's centered there. Okay. So if that guy, is this guy not centered on this guy? Actually, yeah, even if that is centered on that guy, we still end up with this wonkiness. What did I do here? I didn't collinear this guy. That guy can be collineared. Evidently that cannot be collineared. Which I guess makes sense. Wow, I am bad at reading my own drawings. That is collineared in the front. Oh, I'm not connected here. That is why. I didn't connect out to the edges here. Huh. So these are the problem right here. That collinear on that now works. But this is still whatever, right? It's centered. It's definitely centered. What is constraining the outside? Why do I not see that? This box is fine, I guess. Oh, okay. That is relative to the outside there. That is what it is. This right here. This is just 2 millimeters right here. And I guess on this side too. No, that looks like that. Yeah, that is 2 millimeters. So why is it off center? Huh. Like, obviously these are not connected right here. So this always could happen. Right? It's just a coincidence that these guys are inside of this loop. It looks like. I am going to do that. That did not help. Okay. I'm going to delete that for right now. because something is very much wrong here. All right, we got that constrained. Why is this corner staying still? Okay, it is moving. That's fine. Okay. What if I do this now? Huh. Room was going so well too. Why is everything falling apart? So I see the center line in here. It looks though that this center line, I guess there is a center right there. I thought I only saw one centering thing, which is where I guess I got thrown off. So if this is centered and that is centered, and this is coinkydink with that, that literally just destroyed everything. Is it this guy? Is this the guy the problem? I guess he is? Question mark? See, and my only issue here is delete that. Two. This is 2 here. That's 2 there. But I should still be able to change this. Yeah, why is that over constrained? Oh, because of this guy right here. Okay, that's why. Yeah, there we go. So this, did I ever get that? No, I did. This should be there. Yeah. All right, so this is moving now the way I would expect it to. I toss this guy in. This guy is like that. That guy is centered on that. That guy is 4 millimeters. And then this comes over here. 2 millimeters. And tangent to, that's not tangent. Tangent to that. Yeah, this can still move. So I'm still lost on how I determined the open here. I've got the inside corners pinned. That's the inside corners pinned. 61. That guy, the outside. Fine, that's fine. Tangent, this tangent right here. What is this? Tangent there? Okay. So that's how I got that. So that is tangent to that. I mean, that looks too wide to me, but that is what I have here, right? I wish Fusion did a heck of a lot better job at highlighting what things are part of a constraint, because a lot of times it's really just plain horrible. I'm pretty sure that's tangent there. That's the only circle it looks like it possibly could be. I guess that's proportion. Okay, that should be everything. So, inside, inside. Inside, inside. This is tangent there. This, what is that corner, or this line is tangent to the inside of the circle. That is, this is not supposed to be connected. I think that's the right one. Oh, okay. That guy. Deleted. That guy. Deleted. That guy. Tangent to that. I did not do that correct. There we go. The linear there. Okay. Okay. That took way longer than it should have. Hopefully the next time we do one of these, it is not as complicated, or it is not as difficult. So, now I need to add some spacing between all these guys. And am I happy with an inch between each? Let's make it like 35. Okay. Tangent there. And actually, yeah, I guess that is a good point. One of these midpoint constraints are gonna have to go. I think it's that guy. Not that. Collinear. There we go. And now I can tangent that. Collinear that. And actually, we can fit that inside of the wall, so we will. That was not what I wanted to do. There, and there. Okay. And why are you a problem? 2. There we go. Okay. That took longer than anticipated, but we are officially done on this guy. This will print straight up and down just fine, I think. I mean, not really. It really wants to be laying straight back down. Actually, that's not that big of a deal. We're putting sponge in this thing, so that's not really a problem. Oh, but it wants to face the other direction. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're going to print this in a separate piece. So let me undo that. Let's do this. What? Oh, everything else is relying on it. I see. 3, and then you can be that instead. Delete, and you are that instead. I'm gonna collinear this to get out of the way, and then we will draw a little hook in right here. Oh, actually, you know what? That was stupid of me. Because that's gonna have to be separate anyway. Alright. Center. There and there. There and there. Then that is collinear there. That is 2. This can be whatever. Let's call it like 6. 6 is fine. Then we just collinear this in here. And that just needs a offset there. I'm gonna call it 3. And we are back to where we were. So get this all taken care of. And from extrusion, from object, that guy. So given how large all this stuff is, I'm probably not going to put anything on top of the extrusion. So we will just go from the extrusion itself. No offset, in other words. And then I'm going to want, let's go 25. I think this is fine. Minus 25. And then plus 2 times 2. Or minus, whatever you want. On. Alright, there's the back plate. Sketches. Let's get this guy through because this guy is easy. Oh, I didn't. Derp. You are supposed to go all the way through. Same thing with you, and I gotta double check the other guy now that I realize I made this mistake. Alright, the other guy's all the way through. Alright, so this guy is easy to extrude because he is just a straight extrusion. From object. Oh, I missed the little flangey guys. We don't have flangey guys. Okay. From object. There. Minus 2 for the top wall. And to object. There. Minus 2 for the bottom wall. And new component. P. And then we combine that with that. Cut, keep tools, okay. And also take this sketch. Not that sketch. Take that guy. From object. That distance to object. That. Turn this guy off. And turn that guy back on. And there we go. Alright, cool. So we just need to fix the wings. We missed the wings on this guy. I don't know. I think I might have just grabbed a center point or something like that. Yeah, I did. Okay. One. 30. 30. Finish. Fix this extrusion. There we go. Okay. There is that guy extruded. This guy we will extrude from object. Distance to object. Whoops. To object. There. New component. I'm not entirely sure our problem here. Other than fusion being mental. This one is fusion fault. Actually, I don't even need that much of it, to be perfectly fair. These tips are like 9 3/4. So let's just call it like 11 and be cool with it. Distance. Minus 11. New component. Extrude. Buddies. Buddies. All that stuff. Buddies. From object. That guy. 3. Join. Then the hook. And because this is from object or to object, because it's smaller than the back plate, we can actually just run it the whole length. Makes our life easier. Turn the body back on, hit the combine button, and we're good with that. And now for the hard one. So, I just realized that shoot. I guess I'm going to have to just project all that stuff from the... Let's make a new component. Start a sketch on that plane that we just did, and we're going to have to just project everything off because we did not line up the top of this extrusion with this sketch. So that makes our life difficult. So we need that. Actually, this back part, all of this back part, we can probably avoid safely. That's my guess. Yeah, we can. Okay. So the way this is gonna work, if it's gonna work at all, we can ignore the wings and the back part. And just grab this stuff. And on top of that, this is yeah, we actually want to design for the bottom part instead, because the bottom part is where these will be the longest, question mark, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. Yes, no, maybe. The center of the circle is going to be concentric. We can fix it. We'll fix it if it ends up being a problem. Okay. We're just going to wing it. We're going to make sure that, we're going to hope that this works the way that I think it's going to work. All this stuff looks okay, I think. we're going to loft this down to the bottom one. Then we'll extrude the other things, and we can make adjustments to extrusion if necessary. Okay. Let's get the bottom plane. Okay. Hop back into our component. Get our next sketch on the bottom plane. Project this out as an example. Turn that sketch off for the second. And actually, I also need these guys. Okay. Then I need to toss in the correct sizes. This is going to be 2. And then I forget what the smaller diameter is. So we need to go 25 down. That is actually not going to work. Let's change this to our overall height to 18. And at the 18 mark, we're about 18.2. So this is going to be 18.2 right here. Finish that. Come back over here. Fix this extrusion. Hopefully don't break anything in the process. That extrusion is going to be minus 18. Okay. Quick look. Alright, everything still appears to be fine. Now we come here, we loft it down to here. And these need to be tangent. I don't see tangent on my list as options. Direction. Direction? Not direction there. So direction there. I guess that's close enough. Okay. It feels like it should be a little bit more curved. But probably just overthinking it. Control Z, Control Z. We lofted on the wrong component. I'm not gonna cry. I swear I'm not gonna cry. Direction. A. Wrong direction. Direction. Okay. It's cool. It's cool, guys. Alright, now we extrude all this stuff. Turn this body off really quick. Make sure that we get the inside guys. We can always loft extrude. Loft cut, rather. This shouldn't be a problem. From object. There. Fusion. Please cooperate with me. Please. Thank you. Distance to object. Here. And we join. And then we cut. Actually, let me... This is what I was mumbling to myself earlier that we can fix. Distance to object. There. I thought we could fix this. I thought we'd be able to do that to fix it. Okay. We can do it one time at one edge at a time. Okay. There's that. Now we need to cut out. Let us... That one's fine. We need to grab the... Actually, I guess maybe I should make some more sketches. I guess that's how we're going to be doing this. So there, project that. Go away. There. And then we can send this parallel, extend this parallel. Okay. And then sketch line 2, project this guy, extend that parallel. Thank you. Thank you. Finish. And then, as I was saying, left cut from there to there. And that does not appear to work. So we simply try harder and do this. Grab a square. Go coincident to that. Go collinear to that. Go collinear to that. And we can just pop that in the back. Okay. Then, same thing from the bottom. Get you set up there, get you lineared over, the linear all over the place. Finish, and we retry that loft. So, delete, delete. Oh, I should. Finish, and all right, you know what? If you're gonna be difficult, finish. There we go. All right, try this again. There to there, cut, and everybody is happy. Okay, okay. Am I really that happy though? Or am I not frustrated that that took as long as it did? Alright. The last thing we need to do is toss our mounting holes in there. And print offsets and the cutout for that. And okay. It's fine. It's fine. Combined that and that. Cut. Extrude. Sketch. Turn the body off. Turn the body off. Grab that block. Body. From object. Give me the face, please. Thank you. To object. Cut. Make sure we turn this off so we don't cut it. We shouldn't, because actually that is open, but just in case. All right. Print offsets. Get these guys in here. Sketch off. That. Guy over here. That. Minus 0.1. Okay. That's our print offsets done. And now we need extrusion mounting hole. Off the front. Project. That guy. Okay. Actually, I need the 2020 extrusion. Body. go. Make sure that we're always in center of that extrusion, even if we change the shape of the outside box. Not centered. That was exactly the point I was making just a second ago. There we go, that, and then we need to grab a center point on that guy, as previously discussed. Plus that in there, and finally, I think what I will do is find the center point on each of these guys. There to there, and there, and use those as the mounting points. And I do not need to countersink the hole because nothing is going in front of these mounting points. All right. Body, distance, all. Distance all, please. Flip it good. And that is the most difficult holder, or at least the most complicated holder, completed. All right, Plastico. Neon green, let's go for it. I already did orange, did yellow, did purple, did blue. All right, I guess I'm gonna grab a different color down here. No interesting colors. All right. We'll do orange again. Orange, yellow, and blue. All right. Save. Derive. Existing. Okay. We are not in the correct folder. Select. Close that. Don't save. Close that. Don't save. Add-ons, and we are finally on to the very last thing. I'm not going to bother doing the LED thing as previously discussed. So now we just need a little holder for our chuck wrenches. Save, get the extrusion in here. So this is chuck wrenches. Save, get the extrusion in here. I don't know, did that correctly? Pivot this 90. Okay. Make these guys wherever they are read only. There we are, read only. I feel like I should have had 3 slots open on my editable documents, but it's okay. Yes, I did just say editable documents. All right, these guys. How do we want to put these guys in here? Okay, you know what? I might hate myself. But what if we did more clips? Nah. Okay, you know what? I've just I made a decision. These are actually they're not heavier. They're not heavier than the wheel. The wheel, however, had a cone shape to stop it from falling down. These guys, because they don't have a cone shape, unlike the markers. Where's the camera at? So the markers are tapered, okay? Both the big and small markers tapered. This has this taper that we were trying to follow right here. So all that stops them from falling out the bottom. These guys don't have it, so I'm not going to go with clips on these guys. I could do clips sideways if I really want to. The other option is stick them in it, you know, just to put little peg holes in and put them in there. Put holes in a block and put them in there. Do we want to do clips this way? Do we want to do clips this way? Alright, let's try to speed run this. We're going to attempt to speed run some more clips. We screwed up the first time. We're going to prove that we have learned from our mistakes and will not screw up this time. So we do not actually want this view in that case. Let me get us back to Fusione. Alright, let's nail these clips this time instead of screwing up. Alright, diameter. Diameter on these guys. 10.4-ish. 10.4-ish. And we're going to have two of them. So let's get these lined up. 10.4. 10.4. These guys are going to have the heavier 2mm walls instead of the 1.5s. 2mm. I'm currently thinking to myself whether or not we're going to run into a print problem with these guys. I don't think we will, but it is something to keep in mind as I'm getting this done. One. 25. This is the actually, you know what? I was going to put a big gap in between these to grab them, but I'm probably going to grab them at the same exact time. So we will put a smaller gap, I guess. Just like 5mm. Give them a little bit of breathing room. Tangent. Let's see. So we got that. Now we need our boxes. Actually, we want to project that guy out. Turn him off now. And we can draw this guy. So this is the back box. And there's that. Centered on that guy. 2mm here. And then our other box that goes collinear with this guy. Collinear. 2 and 2. And I guess we just make you collinear here for the heck of it. This is 2mm right here. I guess I can throw the black back plate rather in right now. Delete. Or you are collinear with that. And then you are collinear on the back of the back plate and 2mm or 3. I'm going to make it 3 for the heck of it. Off there. And we are now onto lining this up, right? And oh gosh, we just did this. It is the inside corners, right? Inside corners here. Outside corners. Outside corners. Crap. No. I said we were not going to screw this one up. I said we were going to prove that we knew what the heck we were doing. It is the inside corners. Okay, I was correct the first time. Alright, inside corners on there. Side corners on there. That is tangent to there. And yeah, now it's just this. And this was tangent. This was tangent to that is how we decided it. Okay, I think that's everything. I think we have successfully done it. So the last thing I'm going to do is I think I'm going to actually delete that. Put this down to 3 or 2.5 if that's half of whatever it is. And take this. I'm going to slide you off really quick so I can see what I'm working on. Toss a line in here so I can get a center point on that. And then, yep. From that center point, draw this line out, make that line tangent, and we can just connect that line so that we can constrain the sketch. Money. Oh, not money. Not money. I forgot the opening. There. Turn these guys off. $45. $45. They're going all the way out the front. That's correct. Turn that off. Make that perpendicular to the backside. And now we are good. I think. Okay. So what I actually should do is I should change this right here. Instead of doing this, I'm going to just straight up delete that. I am going to toss a 4mm bolt in here. Yeah, I'm going to go tangent here, which means that I can go center here. We can go center here. Tangent here. Tangent. That's the tangent. And then this honestly can just be that. We can just do that. Do that because this isn't actually doing anything. And we just need to claim that that is 4mm. Okay. Oh, actually, that's the diameter. That needs to... does it really need to be... Yeah, it should be the diameter of the head. Just to be on the safe side. Technically speaking, I probably could fit it in without it. Oh, no, actually. Take all that back. I take back everything I just said. Because we need... Come on. Just give me the one line. We need the 4mm right there. And then we need a some meat right here. I'm going to go ahead and give us a full 3. And then we can take that. Let's figure out whichever one it is. We can take that sketch line now and center that sketch line on that. There we go. All right. Excelente. Okay, So extrude, yeah, not you, yeah. And actually, we just make it whatever we want to make the clip, which let's just make it. Honestly, because these guys are a little heavy, I'm gonna go ahead and make this 25. I made the other one lighter, but all the weight was going straight down into the clips, you know? So I wasn't that concerned about it, but I do want at least enough space. So we will go ahead and symmetric overall 25, and then the actually oh no, I'm good. I'm still good. Okay, yeah, we're still good. We're still good. Plus 2 times 2 for each edge. Yeah, I should be fine. I don't think it's gonna be a problem. Getting these bolts in here is what I'm mumbling to myself about. So I'm thinking, actually, because of the way this is set up, we could potentially print this face down with this guy right here. I would just need to add some port material behind it. Am I okay with that? I'm okay with adding the support material behind it. Is that something I'm happy with? I don't know. It kind of feels a little bit like inviting some disaster to happen. So I think I will refrain from that. Let's get this guy. Please, thank you. Not that piece. Turn that body off. That. Should be good. Body. Symmetric. Full distance. 25. Join. Oh no, not join. New component. New component. Don't go crazy. Don't be crazy. Now we mirror that component. That guy across the center line. And then we join. Not that guy. Start again. Try again. Backplate first. And then, guys, keeping tools. And then we extrude that little block. Body. Component. From object. Distance to object. And turn that guy off, just in case. And then we can mirror that. Feature. Not that one. Crossed here. Gate. And we come back in. Project that guy. And that guy. Toss our lines in here. Toss our center points in here. And then just toss some mountain bolts in it. Just a little mountain bolts. Actually, let me do like I did before. Toss our line in. Centered. Then figure out where the end of that line was. Where is the end of that? Alright, we are going to undo that. I'm going to randomly call this 20, just so that I can't possibly lose it. Try that again. There we go. Alright, and well, I'll delete that for now. Shrink you in a little bit so that I can make sure that I'm not touching anything else. Plus one on the other side. 4 equals. And then we can, as usual, go like, we probably don't want that. 6. 6 is fine. Finish. Extrude. Body. Distance all. Flipperooski. And attempt to unselect this body. Okay, I am going to reopen this so that that is not as much of a problem. Hopefully not a problem at all. Chuck wrenches. There we go. All right. Now, onto the print offsets, and we are golden. Minus 0.1. Okay. Turn everything back on, and there we go. All right. Yes. Just need to color it, and we are finished all of the add-ons. All right, different colors. Brown. Actually, I wanted that brown. The back brown. I should make it gold. Should make it gold and a silver. To-do list. Pink. And beige. Alright. Save. Derive. Click. Existing. Okay. All holders. Select. And we are done. Done, donezo. Don't save. Close. Again, I will get everything else fixed up in post. Get all the models named, put them on Thingiverse, etc. Get them printed out, and troubleshoot any problems that I have. But for now, that concludes this saga until I do the full video, the official video. This is the last time you'll see this stuff, at least us working on it at any rate. You'll obviously see it for, as I'm videotaping, etc. etc. All right, anyway. That was a lot. That was a lot more than I thought it was going to be for some reason. Honestly, I guess the only thing that really slowed me down was the what do you call it? The initial clips. Everything else went pretty smooth. Lost only about half an hour on the initial clips, which wasn't too bad. So, this is when I'm recording this, the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving, for those who are unaware, is always on a Thursday. So that it means that Thanksgiving is literally tomorrow. I do not plan to be streaming tomorrow. I have other things to be doing. But that being the case, happy Thanksgiving, everybody who is celebrating at this point. And if you are watching this in the future and Thanksgiving is either not here yet or has already passed, in that case, happy Thanksgiving next year. Beyond that, the project that I mentioned that I was rambling about earlier on when I started the stream, I am going to work on that project next off stream so I can get that done and show it to you guys. And then for the next project we'll be doing here, I am actually not sure. I have a couple little things I need designed around my desk, really. A couple holders so basically my Dremel kit, I have all the collets and stuff just kind of floating around in the kit, and they really the holders that are there in the Dremel kit for stuff just plain don't work, right? In the case, the Dremel case don't work. So I'm going to design one of those. I don't know if I'll do that on stream. Similarly, I got a bag of cutoff wheels. I needed some more fiberglass cutoff wheels, so I got a bag of those, and I would like to make a case from those. That could be a stream as well. So it may be one of these situations where the next stream is just a miscellaneous design stream. I only have these two things to design at the moment, I'm pretty sure. I'm just looking around really quick to see if I've got anything. And I don't think I did. I'm pretty sure these are the only two things that are queued up to be designed. I might hold on to them until I have a third and fourth thing, since these are all minor design things. Now, I say that, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't go absolutely sideways on me while I'm trying to do these designs. Hopefully they are as simple as they look. But that being the case, assuming they're as simple as they look, I will have to come up with a couple more things to make a full stream of. So that is the plan so far. Again, until I think of something else to design on stream, I have a lot of video editing to do. So we'll see what happens. I may, if I don't come up with anything good to design on stream, we may just start up another video game. I've got several things queued up. Several things in my library, I should say, that I have purchased since the last time we were streaming games. And as I mentioned a few weeks ago when I came back to streaming, I have not been playing video games really outside of chess. Chess doesn't really count as a video game, but I play it online. That's about the only thing I have been playing. And backpack battles. I lied. Obviously, I did the backpack battle stream. I have actually still been playing that for a minute there. I thought that I would actually continue playing it forever because they added some more content. I was like, oh man, I'm kind of hooked. But over the past couple of days, it has again lulled a bit on me, and I may actually give it up this time. So, we may be ready to start a new video game. Long story short. And yeah, I think that's about everything from me. As usual, 20-minute outro is officially over. So, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great and wonderful day, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at in the world. And I will catch you next time.